Hey, this is a dumbed down, really slimmed version of how to set up or install Scene Preparation Manager, Charlie script for RTSE. Yeah, right. Okay, um, if you're familiar with Git, cool. If you're not, easiest way is literally click on here after visiting the link that's in the Discord channel and go and download the zip file. If you're importing it through Git client, um, you will get basically what we're going to go into about the directory naming section in a second. So we're going to talk about using the download zip file version. So go code, download zip file. When you download your zip file, depending on what platform what you're using, you might have a zip file, or you might have it automatically unarchived for you. In my case, on a Mac, it automatically unarchives. So what it will do is it will have this folder here, and it will show hyphen main at the end of it. Now that is referencing the branch on Git. If you're using a Git client, you won't have the hyphen main. So what you'll do, depending on where you import in on your Git client, you would basically just copy that directory. So we're going to do the same with this. This is the downloaded zip file version. So I'm going to copy that, and then we're going to go to our RTS engine, a Unity project, RTS engine modules directory, and we're going to paste the item. Now, if you downloaded the zip file, you're going to rename that folder, and you're going to take out the word main and the hyphen. That's all you need to do to get that into your project. Next, open up your demo scene. As you can see, that's just imported the files. Right, open up your RTSE project, go to demo folder, and we're going to go down to the scenes, demo map, and I'm going to duplicate that or copy and paste, and I'm just going to call that back, just so I've got an unmolested copy, because we're not Welsh. Charlie like that. Anyway, so we're on our demo map. Next, what we need to do is we need to do a couple of things. We need to go to GameManager. Actually, we're going to start this. We're going to do this one a bit different. We're going to go to our faction entities, and we're going to go down, and we're going to select them all, and we're going to delete the faction entities. I'm leaving the faction resources alone, and I'm leaving the free faction entities in there, the orcs. I'm going to leave those alone. We're going to go into the game manager. We have our 4 faction slots. Not anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there is no faction slots. Awesome. Then we're going to go into the modules folder. We're going to create an empty game object, or create empty, and we're going to call that scene prep. You can call it whatever you like. I'm just calling it scene prep because it makes sense to me. Then we're going to go and we're going to add component to that game object, and we're going to type in, I'll do it from scratch, scene, and we're going to import in the RTSE scene manager script. Okay, so on the first thing you'll see is terrain's parent. So we could literally just drag the terrain one in from there, and that would work. Or you could just do the walkable tiles and the walkable hills, but let's just keep it simple because we all know the acronym of KISS. Right, so that's that one. Available factions, we'll come back to this one in a minute. Yeah, No, we'll do this one while we're on it. So we've got no factions. We know the demo has survivors and invaders. So let's add a faction. Oh yeah. So there is a slight bug with that. It depends which way around you set it up. So okay. So as you can see from here, adding factions to this map doesn't do anything, right? Okay. Let's go back to GameManager. Yeah, I didn't think it had anything to do with that. So ignore that last two bits. I might just cut that out. So that's back at 0. Back at Scene Prep Manager for a minute. Player setup. Players positions parent. So basically this is a parent game object that the position has to be 0, 0, 0, 0. You do not move this one. You go into here and you create an empty game object and call it player pos parent if you want. Just to make it a bit unique so it stands out from everything else. So we drag that one into there. Okay. And we make sure that's at 0, 0, 0. Back on this one now. Player start point prefab. So this is the icon and everything. So what you need to do is you need to go down to where you copied the Scene Prep Manager and renamed it. You go to prefabs and you grab the player start position and drop that in there. Now we can select a faction, so invaders, and add it. I'm not going to add the survivors in for a second because they're basically going to be using the same buildings and the same units. So when we add another one here, it'll duplicate that and it'll save us having to drag and set these values up here. So that's all we need there. Player start positions, we haven't defined any yet. We're not going to do that yet until we actually have our faction set up. Okay, so we're going to start off with a building. Obviously, I'm just going to bring that over so you can see that a little bit better. Obviously, we want each player position to have a town centre. In this instance, we're just going to stick with the demo, make it simple, keep it simple. So we're going to go to demo, building extensions, prefabs. We're going to grab our town centre. This box here is referencing the health of the building when it's complete. Now you could have this half built and then you would have, say, a villager, which we could add in now. Let's add a villager in there. So we're going to start off with villager. You could just start off with a couple of villagers, obviously. And have the town centre at half its health or just the foundation of it. You know, just have it placed and then they've got to build it before you can get anywhere. So you could do that. Depends on what sort of stuff you want to do. Anyway, so this box is referenced to the health of that building. So if we go there, and I know this is 2,500. So on your building, let's drop that one. You want to go to your building health or general, and your max health is 2,500. And while we're in here looking at this at the moment, we're going to put a house in there anyway. And we'll look at the house, and the house is 400. I knew it was 400, but for the sake of simplicity, some people won't believe that. So the town centre, completely built, is 2,500 on health. So we're going to add the house in as well. That's 400, and then we need to drag the house into there. Right. So each player position, 4 invaders.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Shut up. Stupid Siri. button in. So for each, sorry about that. Right. So for each invaders, they're going to start off with a town centre and a house and one villager. So we're going to make it even. So we're going to obviously leaving that one alone. We're going to add another one there. Going to change that to survivors. Survivors get exactly the same, and that saves a lot of duplicated work. Right, that's that as far as that goes. So you can save that. Next point. Let's add some positions. So what we're going to do, we're going to go like that. As you can see, there is no start positions. There is no town centres on there now at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide that over a bit and that one that way, just so it's a little bit clearer on the video. Right, so our player start position is at 0, 0, 0. And we're going to add, so we want this to be what, a 2 to 4 player map? Well, it typically is a 2 to 4 player map, so let's do that anyway. But we're going to offset the position slightly. So there's our first position, and we've added that in, and it's there. So what we're going to do is we need to, one, make sure these are directly above the ground, which they are. The position is just moved in 10, 10, and that's all good and fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this one. We're going to have this first one here, which is roughly where, well, it's actually around there, town centre, isn't it? I'm going to rename this position clone to 0. You'll see why in a minute. It just makes life a bit easier. And before I add in any more of that, I'm going to add in all positions. So I'm going to add another position. And select that one. I'm going to change that to 1. And then I'm going to move number 1 over to roughly where it would start. I'm about there. Okay. Back to scene prep. I'm going to add another one. I'm going to add another one because just make it quicker. And if you download my fork, if Charlie hasn't forked it in yet, when you click on these, it will actually select which one it references over this side. Then that one, we're going to change that to number 2. And then we're going to drag number 2 over roughly there. I'm not putting it right in where they all start at the moment. And then that one, I'm just going to change that to 3. As I say, if you use my fork, a lot of this stuff has changed. And we're going to put this one, usually town centre's about there on the demo, so we're going to plonk it about here. Okay, so that's that bit. So we know we've got 2 buildings on each one, so I'm going to start with this one. And so we're going to add 2 building positions. Now what we're going to do, I'm just going to zoom in on this now. Actually, I could have just done that, right, and then zoomed out. Make life a bit easier, I suppose, sometimes. I'm going to drop this lot down. We're going to go to building markers. Now, building markers has, on each building position, has this. And as you can see, oh, he's implemented that one. So that one will reference the town centre, because that is that is 0. And that one is at position, is index ID 1. If you go to scene prep, if you remember on here, the first one, 0, 1. If you change this order, I don't know, but technically they should change. So top one is 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is critical. So what we could do, we could add another one in to show you that as well, but I'm not going to because it's the same principle for units as it is buildings. So we're going to go to our first one. You notice our town centre. We don't want the town centre smack bang centre there. We're going to move the town centre over. I'm going to be awkward and shove it there. Actually, no, I'm going to shove it there. Okay. Also, what I'm going to just check is it is above the ground. Actually, no. Let's try a 0. Let's just leave it on 0. Right. So, and then we want the house. Well, I like all the houses out the bloody way, to be honest. So, I'm going to stick the house there. And that's all you have to do there. And so let's go and do that for each one on the other positions. So position 1, we want 2 building markers as 1. So that's our town centre. We have that there. And our house, let's shove that over there. And then on the this one, I keep doing that by default. I don't know why. 2 building markers there. La 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 la. It's over this one. So let's put our town centre. Oh, that's fine. I selected the wrong one, didn't I? I'm going to put town centre there. It's quite close to some of the resources. What you could do is you could actually go 0 in that as well. And 1 on that one. Don't think that's going to make a difference. Possibly. We'll find out in a few minutes. So we're going to move the house on this one. We're going to put the house over there. And we're going to put the town centre. We've done the town centre, so that's fine. And then the last one. Oh, so we haven't done yet. We could have done those first. Was on each one, to be fair. So we're going to want 2 of those. And we also want the unit marker, don't we? So we might as well do that while we're in this one. So I'm just going to grab the unit marker and put the villager over there. And in this case, we're going to move the town centre over there. And then we're going to put the house over there. Okay. Right, let's go back to these because we didn't do the unit markers, did we? So you don't drag the unit markers, you drag the positions for these. And whatever you do, do not stick them inside the area where those buildings are going to get placed, because you'll find out that unit's trapped inside the building and can't move or under it. That one, add the unit marker, and in this case we got there and there, sorry, there and there, so I'll go there, and then that one, we'll do the unit marker on that one. Just move that down. Right. So that's our unit markers, and that's all of those. Okay. These can be deleted. I fixed that on my fork of the repo. So back to Scene Prep Manager. We've got our players. There is an issue with the prefab, player start position prefab on my Mac and the way that indexing works. I'm not getting into that. I did that. I got into it on another video. So I'm not doing that. This, as I said, this is a dumbed down version. Right. Sorry about that. Really bad throat today. Game Manager. Now, what do we set up with the Game Manager? So we've got 4 start positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is where naming these 0, 1, 2, 3 come in handy. So you want your initial look at position. Now I'm going to test something on this in a minute. The only thing you need to set in this is stick everyone to an NPC, with the exception of one of them. You don't need to assign any of this except for testing. So if we're going to hit play on this map, we need to assign NPC types and his local player for testing. That is it. And for testing, there is one thing you need to assign regardless, and I'm going to try something out that I haven't tried out because I've never got around to trying it out, so we're going to do that in a second. So first off, I'm going to go through is I'm going to go NPC, and it doesn't really matter about which one's which. So NPC, NPC, and NPC. Let's put another invader, and then this one we're going to put host so we can test. We're also going to want a tick enabled on all of them. So for host is local player. Just put them all to easy. They're all pretty, actually we'll stick them to hard. Easy is a bit bloody slow for my likings. Right. Okay. They're all enabled by default. Just so we can check everything works fine. Right. You need to set the initial cam look at position, this one here, to the transform. Now what you can do is you could do this bit here and drag that over to there. This is why I put that to 0 and not left it as clone, because if you only added one, set one up, and then you added the next one, it would duplicate the same data and you would be confused about which clone in brackets represents which one's here. So naming these to 1 in brackets, you know it's element 1. Element 2 for 2. And the third one. Now, we could just do element 3. But what I'm going to do on this instance is I am going to drop the town center position in there. I don't know if it's going to work, so I'm going to try that. I'm going to hit save, and now I'm going to hit play. Oh, nothing happened. They spawned, they're getting on with it. They spawned and they're getting on with it. They spawned and they're getting on with it. Christ, the hard NPCs upgraded. Why didn't we get anything? Interesting. That's interesting. It's interesting actually. Because possible we didn't have a type. No, that's not the reason. That's interesting. There you go. So the reason was, and that was a good test because I hadn't actually tried that. So the initial start position has to be the parent of that. Now, obviously, for local testing, I didn't change the color for the MPs for any of them, so all the faction colors are black. And obviously, we're not doing anything at all. Oh, that's got laggy. Hasn't it just? This might be my screen recording. So anyway, so that's fine on that. So we're going to save that. I don't know if we had anything in the console. Let's just save. Yeah. Oh, no valid nav mesh. I thought he fixed that. That's interesting. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to fix that just so we can actually play this properly. No, he didn't. Yeah, navigation, there you go. Oh, yeah, I created a new project for this. Sorry, my bad. Thought I had this all set up. Bear with this. If you get that, it's a good time to like do this thing sometimes. Oh, it's under AI now, isn't it? Ugh. That's why no one moved. Right. So we're just going to make sure that works fine. We know about the save one. I could import a package for that, but I can't be bothered. So no, we still can't move. Oh, because we didn't bake it. That's why. There's no nav mesh data. So right, that should do. Or not, actually. Oh yeah, he's off. There you go. So all our bods are doing stuff. There you go. Good. Right. Okay. So that's how you get your start positions, and that's how that all works. That's working in tester. It's referencing the save, and that's referencing the save. So that's nothing to worry about there. So let's clear that. Let's save that. Let's now go to our menu just to check it works. So you really want to obviously test this from loading the single player. Oh, my bad. I didn't set up the projects, did I? Add open scene. Demo map. Drop that in there. And single player. Right. Okay. There we go. That's all working exactly how it should. Obviously the lighting's off. I'm not messing around with that because I can't be bothered. Demo map. Right, so once that's all working, you can go here or there. Actually, I'm pretty sure that would work, and you can literally just turn that off. That should still generate them up. If not, there you go. So now you don't have that green icony stick thing, lollipop. So, and that they're all starting and doing what they wanted. There you go. So the video slightly over 30 minutes, but yeah, there you go. Hope that helps.